Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome to Rogers Reflections for Wednesday, November 18th in the year 2020. Today I'm going to be reading one verse from the Proverbs. Again, a familiar verse, but one I think is good for us to hear. Proverbs chapter 3, verses actually 5 and 6. Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your path. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. And as another one says, lean not upon your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your path. Faith is trusting in God without knowing where God is leading. Faith involves, not only believing what something says, what God says. Okay, there's that intellectual, but also trusting that God knows what he's talking about and God knows where we're going. And so even when the knowledge is uncertain, and even as we're walking through difficult times and we might be afraid or uncertain, faith is trusting that God knows where we're going and has the ability and the willingness to make sure we get there. And he does. Trust the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean on your own understanding, because God is able to see things that we don't see. He sees more. He sees beyond. He understands that, if we make this decision or that decision, it could affect our lives down the line. And so, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. In all your ways, acknowledge Christ, acknowledge God. With your mind, your heart, your soul, your strength, acknowledge him. With what you say, with what you do. It's kind of like in the New Testament we hear Jesus, if we do something in the name of Christ, we do so with the authority and the power of Christ. If we acknowledge God in all that we do, we acknowledge that he is Lord of Lords and King of Kings. We acknowledge that he is going to save us. He is in charge of our lives. We acknowledge that. We acknowledge his wisdom. We acknowledge his mercy, his grace, his kindness. We acknowledge all of that. And if we do that, if we acknowledge it, and in acknowledging it, I think we need to accept it. And we understand that it is going to impact our lives as we acknowledge that. We trust it. We obey it. And if we do that, then God will direct our paths down the right path. He will direct our journey down the right path, and we will be able to be more of the person that God created us to be. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Trust that God will guide and direct you. Trust his wisdom. Trust his love. Trust his grace. And see how God will bless you. All right, my friends, take care, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.